So, after finding Mia, landing in Rome, finding everyone else, waiting on the last people. Currently, we are waiting for 3 people whose flight was delayed. I'm so tired. Meeting Filiberto, waiting for the bus. We haven't actually heard Dom speak Italian yet. I don't think he actually knows it. And getting to our hotel, I was ready to go to sleep, but I still had a full day ahead of me. I took my first ever subway ride to the Colosseum, which I thought at first might be one of those things that was going to be a little underwhelming when you finally saw it in real life, but it was not. It was very, very whelming. I'm at the Colosseum. No big deal.
Did you say it only took 8 years to build this thing?
Yeah,
That's it?
72 AD until 80. In 79 they inaugurated, 7.5 years.
At times, overwhelming. I caught myself several times getting immersed in what it would have been like to be a spectator at those games. To be in a place that has held so much history was a very unique experience to an American who hasn't even explored most of her own country, let alone the rest of the world. Then we proceeded to look at a bunch of other really, really old Roman ruins, so old that they had been buried under the city until fairly recently. The different levels of all the structures display this immense empire.
Layers and layers and layers. And until 100 and some years ago, this area was completely covered with dirt.
Basically, everything is older than our country's union by thousands and thousands of years. For my very first real Italian pasta, we went to a restaurant, which I don't remember the name of, but we're going back to again tomorrow night, so I'll tell you then. It was a 4-course dinner. We had pasta, then we had salad, which Dom said is normal to not have salad first, unlike what we do. But what was abnormal was that they brought it out at the same time as, like, the next course. So they brought it out with the potatoes and meat, but they were both delicious. And then for dessert we had tiramisu, and all of this with some brand of white wine that I don't remember, which was good. I figure I'm probably going to try everything at least once. That's my ongoing attitude right now, is to just sort of like continue to be immersed in the experience. And my first experience of trying to navigate a city in which I don't speak the language went like this. I was completely prepared to try my best to speak as much Italian as I could, what little that I know. In my mind, the locals would appreciate a tourist who tries to interact and participate in the culture. And well, I decided I wanted gelato. I decided I wanted gelato a lot, but the first time I wanted gelato, I went up to the counter, I looked at the sizes, I said, medio, cafe. The lady looked a little confused and said, un cono? I said, si. She said, piccolo cono? Solo cafe? And I said, sure. Because even though she had changed the size that I ordered, I thought, well, maybe I don't need a medium. She's probably right. I should probably get a small. But I think the fact that I understood her when she said solo cafe was kind of cool. I don't know. It's the same as Spanish, so I really wasn't that impressive. And then I gave her the closest I could to exact change, because that's something that I had learned beforehand, is a thing that like Americans do that they find kind of rude, which is like giving them big bills that they have to break up. So whenever possible, we try to give them exact change. There's something to be said for this attitude that Italians have, where they sort of try to appreciate the little things, and they put friends and enjoying themselves above efficiency. They value like their workers above customers. Like they don't have that attitude of the customer is always right. So a lot of Americans come here, and the way that the sellers and stuff interact with us seems like they're being rude, when if you think about it, like they're not being that fake charming, like trying to suck up to you constantly attitude. And in a weird way, I find that refreshing, because it's like I know, there's no like fake attitude of like I'm trying to act like I like you when we all know that we don't know each other at all, and I'm just here to buy something from you. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to going to Macerata, because Rome is cool, lots of touristy things to do, lots of history to learn about, but it's a big city and there's lots of people, and I'm not used to that, let alone where most people are not speaking my native language.